the way.
We're wanted men.
I have spoken.
Welcome to episode 249 of the Smugglers Galaxy Podcast, your favorite Star Wars podcast for smugglers in the galaxy. I'm Glenn. There's Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hi.
You good?
Yeah, you good?
I'm good, man. How's life? How's life treating you?
Can't complain.
Yeah.
Busy as always.
Well, you do that to yourself, man.
Yeah, I was out back during the thunderstorm that we had this afternoon, and I saw a lightning bolt that was probably, like 100 yards away in my backyard, and it, there's like a bubble around those things where if you're close enough, you don't hear it, but if you're far away, you start to hear it,
Uh-huh.
I was just outside that bubble, so that thing made me jump out of my seat. I was just like, oh my goodness, that thing was just so freaking loud.
Was it?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we got a little bit of a thunderstorm here, but
Then we got a private rainbow too.
was it a double rainbow?
No, a single.
Double rainbow, man. In
Single
the
rainbow.
sky.
So,
Huh?
Single rainbow.
Single rainbow. I didn't see any rainbows, but I'd cleaned the deck today and I was like, I know it's gonna rain, so it'll wash away whatever I didn't wash away, any of the junk. But yeah, real exciting day. And I had to drop my car off to get brakes and tires, so there went a whole chunk of money.
So you didn't pick anything up this week, is what I'm hearing.
No, because
Yep.
it's still, I haven't. My wife picked that up for me a couple
Goofy?
of weeks ago, and I forgot to say it, but she picked me up a stuffed Goofy at Goodwill.
Doesn't count.
I did, man. I was close. I was so upset that I missed this, but Facebook Marketplace, somebody had posted a a ceramic mold for one of the bootleg. It was a bootleg Darth Vader mug for like $45. And I was too late. By the time I messaged them, somebody had already made a deal on it.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. I was like, son of a gun, because I really want a mold. I really want a ceramic mold. And that would like scratch the itch, especially for like $50, because the big molds are, a couple of hundred. Plus, with it being local, I wouldn't have to worry about it being shipped. And I was kind of hoping my wife picked it up for me for Father's Day, but it didn't happen. When I talked to her about it, she was just like, oh, man. So I didn't get a, hey, babe, guess what I got you for Father's Day?
Sorry.
That's all right. She got me tickets to Volbeat. So
To
they're doing
what?
Volbeat. They're a band.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
never heard of them.
Ticketmaster is doing like a $30 ticket right now. Like they do it every summer, and they had seats for they had actually seats for $30 to Volbeat. So I was like, and so she's got tickets for me and Kaya. We're gonna go see him in August in Alpharetta, which makes it even better because Lakewood sucks. Just because Lakewood's a cool place, but it's in a very bad part of town, so it makes getting there not fun. You haven't been to Lakewood Amphitheater yet?
Yeah, I
have you?
have. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's one way in, one way out.
Right. And it
It's not
just,
fun.
yeah, Alpharetta is so much better since it's closer and parking's free there. So it's a little bit nicer part of town and it's close. And she got me dinner to some mystery restaurant that she won't tell me about. So I guess I'll figure it out in August.
Yeah. I didn't get anything this week.
Oh,
It's just a quiet week.
yeah.
It's
Well,
kind of it's not
Huh?
exciting to have nothing to report. Like, I didn't get anything.
I
This week.
didn't get nothing. Well, it also, when we record on Mondays and then we record again like on Saturday, we don't really have a full week
No.
to get everything. So yeah, nothing. I'm trying to sell stuff because I want to buy some music gear. So I'm trying to sell stuff, and I must have bought. I bought totally at the wrong time because everybody's offering me like less than I paid for the stuff.
Yep.
So it really stinks.
I think Star Wars fandom in general is at an all-time low. Not to mention that there's just not much going on, but it just doesn't seem like it's selling. And hopefully Hasbro's not going to be raising prices anytime soon. Because if that happens, then people are just out because it's just too much.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not like, I don't know. And I'm also trying to sell like high-end pieces, so I'm trying to sell like one piece to be able to buy a piece of music gear. So it's not like I'm trying to sell. It stinks when you try to go through your collection and try to buy bits piecemeal stuff together to make a deal. And I'm at the point I can't really piecemeal anything together. I'd have to sell a big chunk of my collection uh to get the money that I need. And I'm just trying to sell like one or two bigger items, and nobody's biting on them. I've had one guy offer me, and I should have taken it. It's an AFA. It's the AFA. I've got a Taiwan Boba Fett that I just bought because it was a nice Boba Fett and I had the money, and it graded like an 85, and it's a harder Boba Fett. It's the brown belt Taiwan, and I'm trying to get like $500 for it, and somebody offered me 450 or 440, and I should have taken it because now nobody's offering me anything on it on Deal or No Deal. Um, yeah. Huh?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. In a couple of weeks, they're going to have a prototype weekend on Deal or No Deal, and I'm curious to see if things are going for high rates or if it's not. If it's not going to do that.
Yeah, the past few times they've done that, it's gone really poorly, I think. But maybe it'll change. I truly don't know what they're gonna do. I know I did have a moment, and I think it just because a few years ago I'd sold some land, so I had money and I was just buying. I didn't care. I had money, so I was buying
Oh yeah.
it. It was a bad time. I think it was like that FET. I have like by the time I got it graded, I have a little bit over 500 in it. So I was trying to get my money back, and it's just no way I'm going to get my money back on it.
Yeah, I mean something like that, a higher end item, a rare item, I would just hold on to that. I know you need the money, but I wouldn't give in to the pressure of I need to sell this. I would find something else to do or mow a lawn or something rather than sell an item that's rare and high end and graded well that for
Yeah.
less than.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I'd seen the grade back from it, and they were getting, we don't talk about, oh, we don't do this for money, but when you see something, that grades for like that graded that high, you're like, oh, it's going to be a rarer piece.
Yeah.
And it's just that grade, nobody cares about it.
I just
Yeah.
had some ash on my forehead.
Yeah, I saw that I should have told you when you got on here, but
I was cutting wood in the glow forge and
it
I
cut.
got ash on my hand
Oh,
and
you were
then
making like model stuff in it, like, or
yeah, I
cutting.
mean that's the thing with Rogue Fun, like especially this one,
Uh-huh.
I've got a whole year to figure things
Oh,
out
it's gonna be crazy
because
with,
last time we decided to go after our toy show in May.
right.
But this time we had everything kind of set up and planned before May. It was just signing the contracts and announcing things. And the swag thing has already been developed. That's something we were handling in January before the event. Here we are in June,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff is settled. So I can kind of focus in on some of the finer details.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's funny because like Narayan will be like, well, let's do this swag, and we're like, oh, hold on a minute, and then he'll show something else, and we're like, let's do that.
Yeah.
So, huh?
Yes, I
So the
agree.
swag is the swag will be strong with this one.
Yeah.
I mean, we're trying it. It's sad when you're like, I think we've got enough swag, but then he'll come up with an idea, and it's just like, yeah, let's do it. And we will. Oh, I can't wait to see what people bring for swag. And it's like I've got a year to plan my swag, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do for swag.
I don't
Uh,
either.
but yeah,
That's
it's gonna have to be budget conscious this time around. But we'll
yeah.
we'll maybe we'll reuse because the logos we did last year are still usable. We just need to change the logos that we did of myself and my wife. We can reuse them and just redo the Rogue Fun and do something cool with them. Because what I think our swag has become, I'm a Wampa, my wife's an Ewok, and we just kind of reuse those images on different swag.
A Wampa and an Ewok walk into a bar.
Yes.
Hey, what do you call a Frenchman in sandals?
I don't know what.
Philippe Philop. So, but yeah, that's what I was doing. That's why I was late. I was finishing a sign and I rushed it and then started burn. It started to react to rushing it and
You shouldn't
didn't
have
take any
rushed
time.
it, man.
It's all right.
I could
It's
have
get,
waited.
it's getting late.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's getting late on a Saturday night. What else
Yes.
do you do when you're over 40? You just record podcasts.
You record podcasts and talk about Star Wars.
Yeah.
I did
And
find
then
you the best shirt, though.
what?
The shirt that I shared.
Introverted but willing to talk Star Wars.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
totally you.
Yeah, I'll probably get that. I'll make that. I'll make that. I won't get that. Forget
Yeah,
that.
you can make it because I was like, I saw it and I was like, that's Jason. That is Jason. All 110%. So
But
yeah, it's kind of been a boring week. Yeah, nothing. Oh, guess what movie I'm gonna go see tomorrow?
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yes, totally. It's totally back in theaters.
It is.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
No.
What are you saying?
I'm gonna go see How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, it's got a flux capacitor in it, I'm sure.
It does. Watch it have a flux capacitor. It'll be amazing. No, I've been hitting to my wife all weekend, or like for the last week. I'm like, Dragon comes out this weekend. How to Train Your Dragon comes out this weekend, and then she's like, "What you want to do tomorrow?" I said, "Guess."
Well, you enjoy that.
I know you're so tired of hearing me talk about it.
While our listeners can enjoy some news.
Yes. What kind of news we got, Jason?
One thing that kind of didn't sit right with me with Andor at the end was B2EMO.
Uh-huh.
B2 Emo. He was
The
just
red droid.
the red droid. Yeah, he was like I mean he could talk. He had a big heart and he was really hurt when Cassian would be away for too long.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of empathy for that droid and I was kind of worried about him at the end of the show because I mean Cassian doesn't come back.
Yeah.
So what happens to the droid? I know we see the droid running around playing catch, but Tony Gilroy said he kind of envisioned it more of
Yeah.
a dog that talks, that he gets attached to things and he does cower and get shy, but over time he'll be fine and he won't miss Cassie and he'll live his life complete and full. So
Was he back with Bix?
yeah, he was still on that planet. That's where
Okay.
they left him at the start of season 2, and then when she came back, he was with her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it because I think the big rumor was he was going to be K2, he was going to become K2SO.
Yeah,
And
that was a rumor.
it didn't happen. It wasn't on our bingo card. We do need to, it wasn't on the bingo card, but we need to dig out our bingo card and redo that one episode, just check up on it. Because it felt
We
like
can
a
do
lot
that.
of stuff happened.
We can do that. We're close. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy has announced that. Did we talk about that? The Variety article?
No, because that just came out. That was only a couple, which the variety art? No.
There
I
was a
thought you were
Variety
talking about
article a
her,
couple
huh?
weeks ago that was talking about Bob Iger retiring from Disney at the end of 2026.
Yeah.
His contract's up at the end of that. And so there's a couple people in the running, but quietly in that article, they dropped that Carrie Beck, who was a producer
Uh-huh.
on Star Wars stuff, and then Dave Filoni are both in the running for the presidency of Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
So
I still think Dave Filoni needs to be creative, not day-to-day guy.
yeah. Yeah, it's probably possible. I mean, George was ahead of the entire company. It was like a family of 5 companies: ILM, that's Industrial Light Manager, the video game, Skywalker Sound, Lucasfilm Books, LucasArts. That's the video game one.
Yeah.
Lucasfilm. So I'm sure they have a structure in place. They've done it before where the president can step away and be creative and then come back, I would assume,
Right.
but I don't know. So those are the 2 that are in the running. I'm sure somebody has been put in place or something.
Yeah. It'll be somebody we weren't expecting. Watch.
Yeah, the other weird thing that happened this week, and I was watching a YouTube doc on it. The British Film Institute has a copy of the original Star Wars in its vault.
Yeah.
and it's in great condition. They were going through the difference between Kodak copies and Technicolor, and it's a completely different process. Most of the Kodak stuff, it's CMYK, which means there's a layer of red on top of blue on top of yellow, and over time, some of that stuff is faded.
Uh,
So you might get a print that's only blue, and that's because the other ink has dissipated. But that doesn't happen with Technicolor. So there is a print out there of the pre-special editions, pre episode 4 in it that was shown
mhm.
for the Institute. And Kathleen Kennedy stressed that it's an important piece of history because it is the thing that established the pop culture juggernaut. And it's also not illegal to show it. It's not something they shied away, but I just thought it was weird that for the longest time they said this print doesn't exist, which maybe it doesn't exist in Lucasfilm, but here it is in British Film Institute vaults.
Mhm.
So
I wonder
it's,
if it's different because it's in British versus American.
they said that Technicolor is a more expensive process
Mhm.
to make those prints. They're better prints, um, and it's in stereo too. It's Dolby Stereo, so I guess that made a big difference in people's impression of the film when they went and saw it in stereo versus mono.
Nice.
So it was a bunch of things like that that they were highlighting. What was your question? I wanted to list that.
No, the fact that, sometimes because it's a different country,
Oh,
they can have it versus here or
yeah.
you know,
Oh, I went down the Technicolor thing.
yeah. No, but
Yes.
that was my question is yeah.
Oh,
I
it was around that time. Sorry, one more thing. It was
yeah.
around that time in the late 70s that it was quite an expensive process to do Technicolor.
Uh-huh.
So they started to transition to Kodak.
Right.
So there's more on Kodak, but that's the one that degrades and is not superior to Technicolor. Technicolor is the one that's better. So a lot of that's why a lot of those prints don't exist anymore, and Lucasfilm doesn't have it. So
I wonder if they're going to hit up the British Museum to give them a copy.
maybe because when the 50th rolls around, and Kathleen Kennedy was on stage and said that they are thinking about it,
Mhm.
how what that's going to look like. Uh, I guess the question is what is it going to look like? What do we think the 50th will be?
Right. It'll be neat if they would re-release it because I know a lot of people want to see it, in its original form because
Yeah,
it's not available anymore.
right. But I would imagine it's going to be the special edition. With all that said,
All that. I mean, it was neat for what it was, but we want to see the Vaseline underneath the land speeder.
see, I'm one of the rare breeds, and I'll put my neck out there because I'm sure the pitchforks are going to come out. I
Uh,
don't mind some of the changes.
yeah,
I know there's purists out there who love the original, and I don't want to take that away from them, but there's matte cuts around some of the TIE fighters.
mhm,
And so as the TIE fighters move, there's this black square that kind of moves with it where they've cut it out and placed it on the film. And it's a rudimentary explanation for that, but
yeah,
it's still the same thing. Like they changed that kind of stuff and they made it more exciting, and I dig it.
right. The my only gripe with the special editions is actually Jedi. I'm mad that they took they changed the Ewok celebration song and then replace Sebastian with
Anakin.
Hayden.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
makes sense, but it when you're used to seeing Sebastian in that final scene with the three Force ghost, and all of a sudden it's Hayden Christensen, you're like, that just doesn't look right. Now, 20 years later, I'm sure it's normal.
And then from a certain point of view, the 40 stories from A New Hope,
Yeah.
the Ben Kenobi one is he kind of goes into the Force when he dies, and the first thing he does is takes the appearance of like a Ewan McGregor.
Hmm.
So I think that's what they were retconning there. They were going back to Return of the Jedi, trying to explain why Anakin appears young and not old.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I'm still, it just, those are the only, if I had to pick things that really bother me about the special editions, those are the two things that bother me the most.
And speaking about deaths, Rise of Skywalker at the end when you see all the Jedi
Uh-huh. Or
and
Here Are All the Jedi.
hear all the Jedi, right? You don't see them. You see them in the comic book, which is where I'm going. Ahsoka does make an appearance behind Rey in the comic book. You see the Force ghosts. You see Mace Windu and what's the oh my gosh, the guy with the tentacles. I'm drawing a blank. Everybody
Oh,
knows the green guy.
yeah, the green guy. Yes, the tentacle guy.
I'll think about it in 30 minutes when it's not
Yeah,
relevant to the
boy, right
podcast
after I hit
anymore.
stop, you'll be like, "Here it is."
There it is. I was gonna say Jocasta Nu, but that's the librarian.
And the
But
sad part is, I have some of those figures. I have a Gentle Giant version of them, and I've got some Galactic heroes of them.
yeah, I'm gonna Google it. But next to Ahsoka
Google
was
it.
also my gosh, as I try to think of the green guy's name, I can't think of the dude from Rebels, Freddie
Kanan.
Prinze Jr.'s
Yeah,
Kanan. Kanan was
and
there too.
yeah, Freddie Prince had a big problem with that.
Why?
He just thought Kanan's story was told, and why would you bring it back?
Oh, so he did not appear in Rise of Skywalker
I think
because of
he
that.
was. It was there. His voice was there, but it was so much stuff happening at that moment that you really, I think, had to pay attention as to what was going on. Um, but I mean, yeah. Now the Ahsoka, which Ahsoka was it?
It was just Ahsoka. I mean, she's appearing in the Force in this moment.
Right, but was it live action or comic book?
This comic book, Kit Fisto is his name.
There you go,
I
Kit
got it.
Fisto.
I had to Google it because I'm thinking of 12 things. But no, it was Ahsoka. She was appearing as a Force ghost, insinuating that Ahsoka is dead during Rise of Skywalker. She's become part of the Force.
Right.
To which Dave Filoni has always played coy and is just like, well, maybe there's other ways that she's, joining the Force. Maybe she's Force projecting her voice or something.
I truly think Ahsoka's gonna have to die of old age.
She's got to die of something at some point. We got to kill this character off. So,
I think it's gonna be like, oh, she's died. Or it's gonna be like
so
how whatever the Randy guy.
Randy,
Kamundi.
Randy Quaid,
Yes.
Kiadi Randy Quaid.
Yeah, the Randy Quaid's going crazy. Yes.
Um,
But
so
the
yeah, she's
Monday
got
guy that, huh?
yeah, Kiadi Mundi.
Kiadi Monday, because he was in Acolyte and everybody lost their crap with that because he's too old.
Hopefully, there's one person who's laughing in their car for the Kiadi Randy Quaid joke. And hopefully, it's Kiadi Randy. Um, he should change his Facebook name to that.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, it is. It's Monday. Oh my God, that's where. Yeah, because yeah,
but
freaking
but
Jerry. All right.
but Ahsoka
Anyway,
has to die at some point, and it would be good for Dave Filoni to go off and start developing another character's arc instead of maybe obsessive is too strong of a word, but goes back over and over, goes to the same Ahsoka well.
right. I mean, how many times? I think she's died, what, 2 or 3 times already,
Yeah.
and come back.
And that's the other problem is like, how do we trust that Ahsoka's dead and doesn't get pulled through the world between worlds?
Right. Oh,
Right?
yeah. That's how she
Right?
keeps coming back. Is the world between
Right?
worlds. Right.
Yes. Right?
Yeah, because she died in the Ahsoka show and she died in Rebels, and the
Um,
world between world keeps bringing her back.
yeah, I think it is worth discussing. This is news. We'll get back to it in a minute. I made a note of this, but after Andor, which has gotten better over time,
Uh-huh.
but we see all the sacrifices and all the spying that goes on and all of the people that propped up the rebellion. And then to see Han and Luke come in, blow up the Death Star and get a medal and this whole parade. It doesn't make me feel good.
Right. I think there's been memes and it's like
Yeah.
Jen Erso, everybody watching them get medals and they're like, what the hell?
Yeah, because Clea, like the whole reason the rebellion still exists is because Clea was giving Luthen the right ideas to do,
Right.
make the right decisions. Because without Clea, Luthen would have made the left when he should have made the right and would have been killed.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I would like to see Clea's story, see that played out
After Andor.
after Andor.
Yeah.
That would be a cool what if, or not what if, but stories of if they would
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Or tales. That's the word I'm looking for. Tales of Clea.
Tales of Clea.
Because there is somebody that somebody posted a screenshot of Empire, and it's Leia's like one of the last people to leave the Rebel base, and there's a girl with long hair standing there with her, and somebody's like, in my head canon, that's Clea.
Uh, yeah, I mean anything's possible.
Yeah.
I
And then
kind
they
of
put
like,
Rex in the in
yeah. Well, then
Jedi.
they undid that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah, that's right.
I've got the action figure, but yeah, they put him into Jedi and then they took him out and said, no, that's not him.
Right. They're like, haha, fooled you.
That was Filoni's idea that never moved forward.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think at the end of Clea's journey, she's looking out at the rebellion and she gives that Mona Lisa smile, and I feel like she's maybe come to some peace that she lost when she saw her whole family get killed by Luthen and his troops.
Oh yeah, that's right. They were. Yeah, maybe.
So maybe she carried that trauma up until that point, and when she smiles and the rain's pouring down around them, and she's able to kind of cleanse herself and shed that skin, she's smiling because she's made some peace to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Luke and there's other people that should have got a medal on Yavin 4.
And how desperate, truthfully, is the rebellion when they're like, hey, you're this 17-year-old kid that just showed up, drive $1 billion um, jet fighter into battle for us.
Yeah, do they do like an in memoriam at the end of the ceremony and they start putting like Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor and Baze Malbus, like all those names, do they go up on the screen behind them or something?
I mean, would they even know those names though? Because a lot of people worked in the shadows.
That's another good question. I don't have the mental capacity right now to think that through, but that's
Well,
a good
also,
question.
yeah, and also I've listened to Pod of Rebellion. It's the Rebels rewatch, and they were saying there was a big stink about how Kanan got Sector 1, but Hera's Sector 2. And basically, Vanessa Marshall is like, she believes that, she's better working sort of in the background, not better working in the background, but is okay with letting somebody else have the limelight when
Yeah,
she knows where her worth is.
right.
And so she's cool with, okay, you can have Sector 1 and I'll be Sector 2, but everybody knows who runs this show.
Yeah, that's the true leader right there.
Yeah.
Um, there's got to be like a memorial on Yavin 4 or something for those
That would,
people.
that would be cool to see.
Like the spy on I can't think of his name in Andor, the one that gets killed for sneaking out the Death Star plans, and
Yeah.
Saw Gerrera gets nothing.
Because
That
he's
dude's
just,
crazy. You don't know where I am. Yeah, you're on Jeddah, dude. We know exactly where you are.
those were some of the best memes too. You have no idea where I am. And he's like in Disney World.
And some of those pilots were involved with Scarif too. Red
Yeah.
Leader, Gold Leader. Like those guys were all, and then they die in the Death Star. So like all of them should have gotten recognition too, not just Han and Luke.
Right. Well, maybe there was.
Maybe that was just a small segment of the award ceremony. The camera just saw the beginning and end, and afterwards, Han and Luke and Chewie walk off, and then a new group comes out representing that whole crew, and
Or
they
it
got
could
their
be,
award. And that's
or it
that's
could
how I'm
be,
gonna sleep at night.
it could be like, the award ceremonies awarded earlier today before the telecast.
Yes,
And
yes,
then
that's
you
what
run
happened.
through
Yes, that's how I'm gonna sleep at night.
it. Yeah. That would be funny. That's what we need is a whole tale of the people that didn't get medals.
Right.
It could be totally that. So the
And
what
then
if people, if you're not the what if, or even do a book about it. I think it'd be a good EU book. Well, it's not an EU book. It would be legend. No, fudge. They're not EU anymore. Like
yes,
modern day canon book.
right.
Somebody could do it.
Somebody could.
Yeah. Has there been any good Star Wars books come out lately? I don't keep up anymore.
I mean, that's a subjective thing. I haven't read any of those books.
It's all been or High Republic stuff, right?
Yeah, isn't there some new Death Star or Tales of the I want to say Tales of the Empire, but that's not it. It was the Rise and Fall of the Empire.
I'm
Someone I saw someone recommend it, so maybe I'll go check that out at some
mm.
point.
Yeah, I'm so out of the books. I mean, I bought a book when we were in New Orleans in January, and I'm still reading it, and we're in June.
You open the book, okay, that's it.
It started out cool because it was like this hundred, it's like New Orleans in 100 years or 200 years. And I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. And it's just totally weird. And I don't understand it. And I'm lost because there's time jumps in it and I can't keep up with it. Um, I just need to, and it was like this award-winning book by a local author down there. And I don't know. I'm having a hard time following it. And it's nothing like I was expecting. And it's 6 months in and I'm like halfway through it.
Sorry to hear that.
I know. I need to do better reading, better at reading. I
And
read
then,
really slow if you hadn't been able to tell.
yeah, because okay, that's it for tomorrow. Vampire. Okay, all right, now you get a sentence a week is what you do.
Yeah.
That's
And
how
we've been
slow.
talking about rereading the Thrawn trilogy for 2 years. I read the first one and I still haven't moved on to the second one.
Refresh my memory. Have you ever seen Spaceballs?
Yes, it's been a while.
Okay. Just making sure because I know there was something that I felt was a core movie to watch that you haven't watched, and I can't remember what it was. It'll
Uh,
come back at some point,
yeah, it'll come back to you. But yes, Spaceballs 2.
but it was like a Spaceballs. Like, how have you not seen Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Something like that, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen Spaceballs. I probably need to rewatch it, because I did enjoy Mel Brooks movies at one point in my life. But like you'll watch like some of them now and you're just like, this is so boring. Because I know they redid one and I never watched it. It was an
The
Amazon.
producers,
No, it was Amazon like did Meaning of Life 2 or something, and I was like, oh, I need to watch that. I never did.
and there was a cartoon for Spaceballs at some point too, an animated show.
Huh.
But the big news this week is that Spaceballs 2 is coming in 2027. Mel Brooks, who is 99, is returning as Yogurt.
Yeah.
So let's film his scenes first, please.
Yes. Let's do those first.
Josh Greenbaum is directing. Benji Sammet, Dan Hernandez, and Josh Gad wrote the script.
Interesting.
The Josh Gad.
Yeah.
The press release said, while the title, plot, details, and the rest of the cast are being kept under wraps, the film has been described by those who have not read the script as a non-prequel, non-reboot, sequel, part two, but with reboot elements, franchise expansion film.
Yes.
So you can expect that kind of quality of filmmaking.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, and I think it's cool that Rick Moranis is coming back for that because he hasn't acted in forever.
right,
He actually was one of the few that was like he stepped away to take care of his family,
right.
um, in the middle of a great career.
It's almost like the world is starting to heal itself. Yes, Rick Moranis is back.
Yeah,
And Bill Pullman, it was revealed he's going to be back.
yeah,
And as Lone Star, obviously John Candy has passed away, so we won't be able to see him. And then Lewis Pullman, his son, who is the Void and the Sentry, sorry for spoiling it, and the Thunderbolts.
yeah,
That's Bill Pullman's son in real life. He was also in Top Gun Maverick. He's going to be in the film. So I
yeah.
wonder
It'll
if he's going
be
to actually play the son of Lone Star.
right,
Daphne Zagunda. I I don't have her name in front of me. She's going to return, I saw.
right.
Obviously, Rick Moranis is returning as Lord Darkhelmet. And then the teaser trailer did say the Schwartz Awakens 2027. So
Yeah,
that's exciting.
yeah. Yes, I think it'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to it because I think it'll be good. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Biff. It's
Biff?
weird because the guy that played Longstar, it's fun watching. It's weird when you see where they're at now because he was in the show called The Sinner
Mm.
and he played a detective, which is it's a really good show. But he's in that and you're like you go back and they show him now and then they show him then and you're like, "Oh, it's that guy."
Yeah,
It's like the guy that played Antego Montoya. He's had a great career.
yeah.
And you look at him now and he looks nothing like Antego Montoya from back in the day.
Bill Pullman was also the president in Independence Day.
Okay, cool. And
Uh,
I've never seen Independence Day.
maybe that might be it.
It might be.
I don't know. Go back and watch it. Although It really doesn't hold up. It is a very 90s movie,
Uh-huh.
and seeing the destruction of a lot of those landmarks, most of them in America, is like pretty cliche at this point. But back then, to see an alien ship like destroy the White House and the Empire State Building, it was like, oh my gosh, that's pretty cool.
Right.
That was the height of Will Smith power too.
Yeah, before he slapped
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
But um,
Was
you
there a
know,
rap for that?
not for that one.
Not
No,
for that one. Okay.
no, it was Men in Black, and then Wicka Wild Wild West.
It's the Wild Wild West. Yeah.
Uh, I got a survey this week because I did mention when we had Chris Letty on that I was getting into black Sideshow Collectibles, the 12-inch 6 scale stuff
Yeah.
for the Cantina characters, and they asked which of these characters would you want next, and they were Reeves, Hammerhead, Wooher, the bartender, Lax Servac, the wolf guy, Gamorrean Guard, and Malakili, the Rancor keeper.
Uh-huh.
So it looks like they're going to continue with those aliens, but I'm like, who wants the Rancor Keeper?
Right.
Who really wants that as part of their collection?
It would be a cheap one for them to do because they wouldn't have to make a shirt.
It's a peg warmer.
Yeah.
It was always a peg warmer. So, like, why would you go out of your way to ask people, do you want this one? No, they don't. Any of
Yeah.
the ones before that, but not Malakili.
Yeah. Hey, it would be a really easy cosplay for me to do if I wanted to run around shirtless at Celebration. I
Yes,
don't think people want to see that though.
just let me know when you're going to do that because I'll make sure I'm nowhere near you.
Yeah. It's fun. And then you see the big guys try to do a slave Leia. So you see those two cosplays running around.
Yeah. And then, like you had mentioned at the start of the show, Hasbro did a live stream this week and they
Yeah.
unveiled a bunch of stuff. Steve Evans did come out and said that for the deluxe figures, they're no longer the wider cards.
Well, that's cool.
It's going to be like the regular size cards, but the whole line is just a freaking mess now with the numbering system. Deluxe are sometimes box, sometimes wide. Now they're going back to regular. It's just, I'm glad things are getting right again.
Mhm.
And maybe we'll continue going down this path and things will stay and maintain the properties and the rules that they've kind of established going forward.
Uh-huh.
But it's just been the wild, wild west with the line.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, I do appreciate that Steve does seem to listen to the fans more than the past regime
Yes.
did, and because he's very active on Instagram, and he does feel like he's into it. I know he said he's going to be, I think, is San Diego Comic-Con coming up?
Yep.
He's going to be there. So I mean, I would almost make a trip to San Diego Comic-Con just to meet him.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
He was pointing out some of the things that they've established so far in the line, including the low tax stickers that you can peel off the retro stuff.
Exactly.
He was talking about the bubble ghosting, which is a phenomenon on the card back that looks like somebody had placed a bubble and pulled it off,
Yeah.
like over the face. That's something that they fixed. I won't spill the secrets to that. You might have to read a future book to learn why and how that happened.
Okay.
I just totally derailed myself with that. Let's see what
What
else
book would you be talking about?
I don't know. And then there's the numbering system, which he's helped identify and try to clean up, and then the smaller card back. So he kind of bullet pointed all the things the quick things, the things that annoy collectors that he was able to fix in his first couple months at the new job.
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, I'm excited for the things he's doing. I don't keep up with it as much as you do because I'm not into the vintage line, the vintage collection. But I do, talking to you and the collectors that I know follow it have been pretty excited about it. So I mean, whenever somebody, I always appreciate it when somebody, like I said, listens to the fans and makes changes, and it seems like the changes he makes are pretty sweeping or pretty quick to make, or it seems like they're just the little things like those stickers, changing those stickers. How hard was that to do? And the fans
Yeah.
are ecstatic about them because everybody that have gotten those stickers have been pretty happy with being able to pull them off. Um, I mean, I don't think I do. I don't know. I think it's a necessary evil, but good for him to take those stickers off. I think the
Well,
stickers are a necessary evil.
what I appreciate is that the small changes are being made. What I don't like with some of, I don't want to put this on Steve, but like with Disney, when Bob Iger came back, the first thing he did was like remove paying for parking at hotels, which was something that people really complained about. And everyone thought like, oh, great, he's back. He's going to make all these changes. But that was really the end of the changes.
Right.
He made some small changes to make people happy. But I mean, we still pay for Fast Pass now with Lightning Lane. So I don't want that to happen with Hasbro. Yes, I applaud Steve for making these small changes, but I don't want him to stop at that.
Right.
Um, I don't want him to like bring back Carbonized all of a sudden and
Oh
start
my
making
God,
all the
please don't bring that back. That was,
wrong changes.
yeah, that was the most ridiculous thing. There was carbon was a, and then was carbonized was the one where they did the funky colors too, because they did the weird colorways.
Uh, the prototype edition for
No, it
retro.
wasn't prototype. It was more Black Series stuff where you had the Mando that was like really funky colors, like almost comic, like really bright colors.
Isn't that like the holiday stuff?
No, no, it wasn't. It was I'd have to look it up, but they did a Mando that was like almost like a comic book colorway. I don't think that was carbonized though.
Oh, and then they did the black version when he was in disguise as the Black Mandalorian.
Yeah. I
It's
really
like
wanted, yeah, I would have picked that up, but that was like a 40 or $50 figure. I don't know that, and it irked me. I thought it would have been really cool to have a black Boba Fett.
it's just like black plastic with like a shine
Yeah.
coating on it. It's really not a good choice of Hasbro's to do that one.
Right. It's like when the Operation Monster Force was like, we're gonna do this awesome figure, and then it's just like all one color. We're gonna do a limited edition figure, and then you get all excited for it, and it's like see-through red. I'm like, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good. I'm gonna nod like I know what
You
Monster
know,
Force
yeah,
is.
no, they had done one. They done one for Joe Fest, and they did one for Toylanta. And the Joe Fest one was their Dracula version, and it was red. And then Joe Lana, they did one for in purple or something. And I'm just like, or Toylanta, and it was just they didn't. I mean, it looked cool. It was almost it was a hologram almost,
Hmm.
like the hologram. That's another thing they don't need to be bringing back in Black Series because those are peg warmers going for cheap right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Some of the reveals for the Black Series, I'll go through those first because
yeah.
it's the thing that I don't collect anymore. I'm not very excited about. The Black Series, the Ronin. So
Yes.
from the Visions animated show, the Ronin was a Star Wars Celebration Japan release exclusive. Um, this will be the third version of the figure because in Japan the box was all in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
If people ordered it through Amazon because it was available through Amazon, I believe. I think it was Amazon. It could have been Hasbro, but either way, if you got it from one of those sources, the packaging was in English.
Yeah.
So technically that's the second release, and then the third release is this version in the regular Black Series packaging line, in color. So he's not going to be in the black and white look that he is in the show. He's going to be with like flesh tones and stuff.
Yeah, it's still a good looking figure. I'm looking at it right now. It's a cool looking figure.
They also unveiled the Black Series Barriss Offee, which is one of the Padawans from Clone Wars and Attack of the Clones, and then Jedi Temple Guard.
Yeah.
So that one's coming to the Black Series. And then this
Oh, the
really
Jedi Temple
cool,
Guard. Hold on, where that may be a cool one.
now he's excited.
Yeah, well, it's just because it's Rebels, man. It throws back into Rebels.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So you might have to pick that one up.
I might pick that one up if I'm buying Black Series figures. But yeah, that's a cool one.
Speaking of one that I might pick up, the San Diego Comic-Con Anakin and Obi-Wan 2-pack. It is $109, but they come with like the platforms that they fight on in Mustafar. There's lava effect underneath them and fire effect to kind of propel the platform that they're standing on up.
Yeah.
And they come with different lightsabers. One of them is the lightsaber in motion version where it looks like a V kind of.
Yeah, I love that lightsaber. That blade. Sorry.
No, yeah. So that's coming to the Black Series line. It's got a cool packaging, and I kind of like those exclusive, the
Yeah.
different things in
No,
Black
I
Series.
do. because they did that with Thrawn, where it's about $100 figure, but they make it worth your while to pay
Yeah.
$100 for that figure. I assume that was one of those set pieces they were doing, a few years ago, where they had like the Luke uh, chopping down that with the AT-AT leg or the AT-AT foot.
Yeah.
I assumed it was one of those. I didn't realize those were Black Series figures that you would be able to pose. That was a cool looking piece.
It was. And then they also revealed the Halloween Black Series figures this year. There's a ghost of an Emperor's Royal Guard. I don't know why my lips are so numb today.
How much
The
drinking have you done?
None. I've just been busy. The Emperor's Royal Guard, so it's kind of like a blah, 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 dizzy kind of thing. The Emperor's Royal Guard, he's going to be a ghost and he's going to glow in the dark.
That is a really cool feature. I think they've knocked it out of the park with these Halloween figures. Whoever's designing the Halloween figures should go over to the Christmas figures and start designing those. Because the Christmas figures are just horrible.
Probably the same team. The Asajj Ventress is getting released as a witch.
Yeah.
So anybody who likes the Frozen Star Wars crossover on the Venn diagram, if that's where you're positioned between Wicked and Star Wars, this is for you.
Yeah.
Comes with a black Lothcat.
Okay. So that is a load cat that came with the Royal Guard too, then. It was just hard to see.
It is, but the Asajj Ventress is, I believe it is a Lothcat.
It does look like a load cat. It's just standing up instead, because all the ones we've had from all the figures have been on all fours, and these are standing up.
Yeah.
Plus, they never did a Black Series Lothcat, did they?
Yeah.
Who they come with?
I don't remember. I'll have to go back and look.
Sorry, I got a soft spot for Lothcats because they're cool. I really enjoy seeing the Lothcat.
And then the Mummy Troopers. So they took a Night Trooper from Ahsoka, the reanimated stormtroopers, and they wrapped it up in some cloth to make it look like it's a mummy. So
that one was a cool one. They did some really cool poses with that one. But I think, yeah, it's not even. Is it a Night Trooper?
Yeah, it's a Night Trooper. And then they did announce that the TVC 3 Trooper pack with the Stormtrooper, the Snow Trooper, and there was one other trooper, Sand Trooper. I don't remember.
It's a 4-pack. I'm clicking on it right now.
No, it's a 3-pack for the vintage collection.
Oh, these are Sand Troopers. These are all Snow Troopers. Oh,
those are coming, yeah. So we can go there.
That's awesome. Okay, hold on.
So there is a 4-pack troop builder for Snow Troopers. That's coming, and that's new.
Right, hold on. I'm trying to find the 3-pack thing so I can see it and talk to you about it.
You might
I
have
don't
to go.
see it.
You might have to go back because this was available during May 4th.
Okay.
And then it sold out within like 10 minutes. And it sold out to premium members. So those that weren't premium members still couldn't get it because it was sold out in 10 minutes. The same thing with the Cantina collection with the Hammerhead, Walrus Man, Greedo, and Snaggletooth that were painted to look like the vintage Kenner Cantina.
Yeah.
It even comes with the cardboard fold out.
I thought that was a cool way to do it, man. Okay.
Yeah, but they all sold out within 10 minutes. So people are frustrated they didn't get it. So now they're making it more available on Monday, which will be yesterday if you were listening to this on Tuesday.
Right. Do you think that upsets people that were able to get it? Or do you think it's a bunch of bots or scalpers?
I don't think, I mean, it shouldn't upset people. If it's upsetting people, you've got your priorities mixed up. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. I think if people want it, they should be able to get it. I don't think it should sell out and then be difficult to get.
Right. No, I agree.
They've got all the market research, so they should know, 6,000 is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Or something, whatever it is. They also did announce the Target stuff that was released that leak last week with Gamorrean Guard, Bib Fortuna, and Bomb Bimden. They did say those are coming to Target, and it's like, well, we already knew that.
Do you think that? I mean, because people were complaining about those. Are they all repacks?
Yes, those are all repacks.
Okay.
And the Gamorrean Guard is now a deluxe repack on a smaller card.
So that's why people were mad about them. And it's like,
Yeah.
they
Well,
were like,
good.
I guess this is our punishment for something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. If you don't want it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
I might get one more Gamorrean guard to go on the sail barge, but we'll see.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a good opportunity, I guess, if you didn't buy it when it was a peg warmer for five
Right.
bucks.
And it's a good figure. I know some
Yeah.
people have some complaints with some of the details.
All right.
And then the
Can the
big
jaw
mama,
move on those?
what's that?
Can the jaw move on those?
I think so.
That's awesome.
I don't remember though.
Yeah.
It's definitely the Black Series. I don't know. Don't quote me. For
Okay.
now, let's just say no.
Okay, cool. I know the
Unless,
Black Series it moved, but I didn't know about the TVC.
yeah. And then the big one that they dropped was the TIE Advance, Darth Vader's TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
It's a whole new sculpt. It is packed in with a new Darth. It's not a new Darth Vader. It's Darth Vader on a new card. But it's all cloth, so he can bend. Sometimes they put like a plastic undercloth under his soft goods cloth. If that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Right.
It gets tucked into the belt. They're not doing that this time, so you can fold his legs and put him into the TIE fighter. He also has this vehicle also comes with a replaceable wing. So you could pop off a good looking wing and put on a destroyed wing. So it's got battle damaged.
Yeah.
So you can have either version for your display. So I was very pleased with that. I thought the packaging looks great. It looks vintage Kenner. I think it hit all the right marks. And yeah, that'll be available on Monday.
Yeah. I'm excited that they didn't take the guns that, because that when it came out in the 90s, they had the guns that extended from the thing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some of this stuff for the first time because I haven't been paying attention to it, I guess on purpose. But it looks great, man. That's a good looking figure and a good looking thing. And it's what 100. What was the price on it? 140. I mean, the
Yeah.
prices are going up. It's not
Yeah.
crazy, but I mean 140 because I think the Mandalorian, the N1 Starfighter was in the $100 range, $80 to $100, and now this one's 140. So I guess, but it's also a lot more intense, than that starship.
Yeah.
And I guess that's more along the price of the Slave One,
Yeah.
because the Slave One was in that 120 range, and that's a big ship with a lot going on.
Yep. Yeah,
So
prices are going up. You got to pick and choose, and that's part of the reason why I backed out of that Black Series for the most part.
yeah, I was excited about that 4-pack until I saw the price, $55.
Yes. But I mean, you divide that by four.
Yeah,
You're what, $11 a figure?
yeah.
No, it's 44. Oh, somebody else can do math.
Hold on. Let me open my phone and get to my calculator. Where is it? Shoot.
13.75 a figure. So if you're looking at $16 a figure in the store,
Mhm.
$17, whatever, it's a good deal.
Right.
Save a couple bucks.
Yeah.
Still no
I don't know.
word.
I just want one of them. I wanted one on a card because that's my favorite stormtrooper is that
Mhm.
figure. Is a snow speeder, is a snow
There
trooper.
is one on that card.
Right, but I haven't been able to find it. It's been
No.
hard to find.
You've
Or
been
was it
searching
or
online because you probably won't find it in store.
yeah. Was it on Amazon?
Yeah, it was on Amazon. Just
Okay,
go
I might
check
have
it
missed
now.
it. Huh?
Go check it now.
Hold on, let me look.
But
Amazon.
but yeah, a lot of good stuff. It's just getting more expensive out there. I mean, you probably can find vintage figures for the same price as some of these figures, especially if the prices are coming down. So you just got to pick what you want to collect.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got it at 17 bucks. One left. Order now.
Shorter it.
No. I probably should. I don't know.
Yeah, if there's one left, although that's just a tactic to get you to click and say, yeah, go. I need that.
Yeah.
I need that. I need
I
that.
need that now.
I need that. It's talking to my soul. There's only one left.
I need it. Damn it. No. Yeah, no, I didn't buy it. It's a cool, I don't know why. Anyway, I've got to be real careful with what I'm buying nowadays because there again, I've got a room full of crap not crap, but Star Wars stuff. And when it's like, how often do I go down there? I need to go down there more often.
Yeah. Did I mention on this podcast? This is probably not going to be my forever home?
Oh, maybe. I thought
Well,
the way you said that, I was like, you're not going to do the podcast
no,
anymore?
no, no.
No,
This
no, the
this
house you're in.
house I'm in probably is not going to be a forever home. So at
Right.
some point, I'm preparing myself mentally for this, which might be a 3 to 5 year kind of thing down the road. But
Hmm.
I will have to go through this and figure out what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to focus on and get rid of a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we're staying here because we like this house, we like the neighborhood, but I think you do get to the point where you're like, it's time to start paring stuff down while you still physically can do it, and you don't leave
yeah.
that to your kids.
The other thing that I was kind of hoping for, which is interesting because I mean the vehicle is 140 bucks. No announcement for HasLab. I know there's a GI Joe coming at the end of June, July-ish,
Hmm.
but there's no new HasLab. Maybe they'll announce something at San Diego Comic-Con. Um, but I mean, if it's 140 bucks for a TIE fighter at this point, I can't imagine what the next HasLab vehicle might be.
Yeah. You when you were you thinking bigger than 140 bucks? You're thinking
Oh yeah.
like four
I
or five
would
bucks. Yeah.
I think 350 is the sweet spot.
Hmm.
Just because of the success of because I think as much as successful as the Ghost is, everybody and we talked about this last week, it's too big. We need to do something smaller and thinner, like the Razor Crest and the Barge.
Right.
I think the Razor Crest was popular, and yeah, the Mandalorian was very popular, but um, and that might have played into the success of that. But I think the 250, 350 range is probably a good place to be for a vehicle.
Hmm.
Not too much, but then I'm afraid Hasbro will just go 400 bucks.
Right. Bam, it's a HasLab. Let's charge more for it. No,
Yeah.
I do. I think because shoot, the Ghost was 550, almost six after shipping, and I think people are disappointed with that ship. And if they charge 600 bucks for another ship after shipping, they're going to have to do. It's going to have a lot more to it. Um, and I think if they do something like the Ghost, I mean, as poorly designed as the Ghost was, people are going to be upset.
Um, yeah. Switching gears real quick. I was looking at the, can I share my screen?
Sure. Or do I need to allow you to? Do host tools. There you go. You are. There you are.
So this is the
The bingo
bingo card.
card.
So I will just go through this real quick and then we'll wrap up. The one
Right.
that I see here, highlight color, is that there won't be a celebration 2026. We really
Yeah.
got that going. Um, Heir to the Empire, we'll start filming. We got that one wrong. It's going to be Starfighter.
Yeah.
That was going to start filming. Jazz Brothers will announce the creatures. Nope, not yet. No HasLab vehicle. Um, no restaurant. We're completely gone with that one. New Star Wars game announced. Have they done that yet?
I don't know. See, those are the things that I was like curious about because we did the game and then we did the new show.
Brand new show will be announced at Celebration, which, yeah, it
Yeah,
was
there was a bunch
Maul.
of new shows.
Well, at least Darth Maul was announced, so we can get that. A Star Wars game was canceled. I don't think that's happened yet.
No.
Darth Vader movie, Alden Ehrenreich. Jackson did return in
Where did he
what?
return?
Lego cartoon?
Oh,
But he did come back.
yes, that counts.
TBC will end. We didn't get to 2027 in December celebration. That's in LA.
Right.
Yoda will be related to Grogu, and Disney will sell Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy will return, but it's not yet.
Right.
So
Eh. Well, damn. I thought we were doing better.
now we've got, including the free space,
We're
four.
close.
I think that's good. Three is actually pretty good.
Yeah. I think next year we do this, we need to open it up to the listeners.
Okay. Why have you got feedback?
No, I just think it because it was just so hard to do it this year. I'm lazy. That's why I want to open it up to the
Yeah.
listeners.
Star Wars Weekends needs to come back to Hollywood
Oh, that would be
studios.
so awesome. I've heard nothing but good things about Star Wars weekends.
Oh,
And it'd be a
dream.
good way to, I mean, there's so many actors that are involved with Star Wars nowadays. It'd be a good way to get them out and about.
Yeah, unless they're subsidizing the cost of signatures, though. I mean, that's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
I did see Jake Lloyd at Star Wars Celebration back in the day. I did see like a talk.
Mhm.
Was it a talk? Like a talk show kind of discussion with him. And there was another actor or actress, I can't remember who, but Anakin, Jake Lloyd was the big one,
Yeah, that'd have been cool.
which I'm glad I saw. He was kind of reserved and quiet, but I don't think we need to talk about why.
Yeah. No, I think because I mean because if you weren't able to get autographs from the people, you could have gone. They had autographs like autograph cards that had pre-done autographs that you could get for free. So you were always able to do that. And I bought some a few years ago from some of the Rebels. I've got oh shoot, I got Steve, Vanessa, and it's either Ezra or Sabine. I'm not sure which one from Star Wars Weekends. And it's just a headshot with a fake autograph on it.
Yeah. I kind of wish I did the selfie series. I mean, they did the 3D scanning where you could be a
Yeah.
pilot or in the carbonite block, but I wish I did selfie series with Hasbro so I could put myself in the cantina. That's a ship that has sailed.
Yeah. I tried and I was really interested in it, but I can never get my face right on the app. So I just never did it.
I had my face right, and then I walked away for whatever reason. Well, print's done. And then I never came back to it. And the next thing you know, they just turned it off without warning.
Right.
It wasn't even like you've got a week. It was just gone.
Yeah. Well, that's probably like we're not making money on it. Close it down.
Shut it down. It was a big initiative too for them. So
Yeah. I mean, it was cool because that was something you could do at Star Wars weekends. I think it was more intense because then they wasn't it like you got to do a full body 3D scan or something. And
yeah. But anyways, that's an hour.
yeah.
And I gotta try to, we were all over the place, so I gotta try to remember what we talked about so I can write a description. I'll probably just AI it. Who cares?
Dude, I love the AI when I got to write stuff. It's great because you write like a paragraph or a couple of sentences and you're like, here, fix it. Boom. You
Yeah,
got
that's
two
not how I
paragraphs.
use it. I type it out and say clean it up a little bit. Like I
Mhm.
don't like using AI like to just here's my bullet points, write me something. It's more like here's my paragraph, clean it up. If I like it, then I'll use some of it.
Yeah, I did that the weekend that I had my neighbor on when you were out. I used the AI to write it. I was like, holy smokes, this is great.
Yeah. Just be careful because they are taking over the planet.
Yes. Terminator, here we come.
Terminator 2027. Thank you for listening to the Smugglers Galaxy podcast. If you could please leave a like and a 5-star review of the show anywhere you listen, really helps us out and points people to our show. You can follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Send us an email or message us. We love feedback. We'd love to make you part of our show. Our email address is smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com. Thank you to Afonso Riviera for the Smugglers Galaxy logo, and thank you to Levi Waterhouse for the music. People, collect for the love of it. Hashtag vote with your wallet. Pass on what you've learned. Be a positive force in the collecting community. Like Steve Sansweet, happy birthday. This is the way.
This is the way. Happy birthday, Steve.
He'll never listen, but we
No,
said
he
it.
won't, but somebody will tell him happy. I've told him happy birthday on Facebook. That counts, right?
Yes.
Yes.